Hello, preschool friends. So glad to see you today. I've missed you so much, but so glad that we can spend this time together. Our book for today is called Ookpik the Arctic Owl. Excuse me. It's a book written by Barbara Shook Hazen. See, little cute Ookpik. This was one of my books when I was a little girl. I've been having a lot of fun finding some really old treasures of mine packed away in boxes, so I wanted to share some of these with you. There is Ookpik's friend. One day, Ookpik, the little Arctic owl, was busy making owl angels in the new snow outside his igloo. All at once, Ookpik heard the sound of sleigh bells. Mukluk, the little native Alaskan boy, was hurrying home in his dog sled. "Why are you in such a hurry?" asked Ookpik. "A huge, fearsome monster has been seen on the next ice floe," said Mukluk. "He's high as a hill and wears swords on the sides of his face." "Oh my," said Ookpik, "what shall we do?" "We are going to build a big trap to catch him," said Mukluk. He brought boards and a toolbox and handed Ookpik a hammer. Ookpik and Mukluk worked all afternoon hammering and sawing. "We'll coax the monster into the trap with a fish as bait," Mukluk explained. "I'll go and catch a fish," said Ookpik. Ookpik started out with his fishing rod. Then he changed his mind and decided to sneak a peek at the strange monster on the ice floe. He met Sammy Snowshoe Rabbit. Sammy was fishing at the ice hole. "Come with me," said Ookpik, but the shy rabbit bounded away when he heard about the monster. Ookpik walked on to the next ice floe. He saw seals and polar bears. And he saw that the snow was covered with migrating birds. Thrushes and terns, geese and gulls, mallards, and even stately swans all had come to the Arctic to make new spring nests. Suddenly they all began to chirp, and they flew away in a panic. Ookpik saw a huge shadow darkening the snow, and that shadow was coming closer and closer. Ookpik wheeled around and found himself face to face with the monster. Oh no. Can you see? The monster's face was wrinkled. He was huge and powerful, and he did wear long curved swords on either side of his face. He was a walrus. "Take a good look before I eat you. I just love owl appetizers," bellowed the walrus. Ookpik was brave and curious too. He decided to ask some questions before he was eaten. "Why do you wear swords on your face?" he asked, shaking a little. "Because it's polite to cut your food in little pieces," said the walrus. "And why do you have such large flat flippers?" asked Ookpik. "The better to slap down curious little owls," said the walrus. "And why is your skin so saggy and baggy and wrinkled?" asked Ookpik. At this last question, the walrus began wailing louder than a foghorn. Sobs shook his huge hulk, and tears the size of saucers rolled in rivers down his wrinkles. "I don't know why I'm so wrinkled," wept the walrus. "I'd give anything to be neat and feathered or furry. Then perhaps I'd have some fun and friends too." Poor little walrus. "I'm not really a monster," said the walrus, "and my tusks aren't really swords. They are spoons for shoveling up shellfish, which is what I eat." "Poor walrus," said Ookpik. He patted him with his wingtip. "You must be lonely. Come with me and meet my friends, Mukluk and Sammy. They'll like you too when they know you." Ookpik and the walrus began to walk side by side back across the ice floe. Soon they came to the ice hole where Sammy Snowshoe Rabbit was fishing again. "Hello," Ookpik hooted cheerfully. "I'd like you to meet my new friend." Sammy dropped his fishing pole when he saw the walrus. "Please don't be scared of me," said the walrus. He held out a friendly flipper. All at once there was a sharp snap, and the thin spring ice cracked under the weight of the walrus. The three animals fell splash into the freezing Arctic water. Oh, what do you think's going to happen? Paws waved wildly. Ookpik and Sammy couldn't swim. The kindly walrus plowed through the broken ice. "Each of you grab a tusk," he said. "Hold on till help comes. I'm too heavy to pull you out. The ice will only break more." In seconds, Sammy's pink ears turned blue and Ookpik's feathers sprouted icicles. "I can't hold on much longer," gasped Ookpik. Just in the nick of time, Mukluk steered his kayak between the broken chunks of ice. He pulled Sammy and Ookpik out of the water. Then he thanked the walrus for saving his friends' lives. "I'm sorry I ever thought you were a monster," said Mukluk. "You certainly are a fine swimmer," said Ookpik. It was true. The huge walrus was really very graceful in the water. "Will you stay and be our lifeguard?" asked Mukluk. "Oh, yes," said the walrus. He snorted with delight and smiled for the first time. His wrinkles looked far tidier turned up into a smile. The spring thaw soon turned the waters warm enough for swimming. The walrus tied a whistle to one of his tusks and gave swimming lessons. Sammy and Ookpik were his first students. They did very well and even learned to put their faces in the water. The walrus made a wonderful lifeguard. He made everyone obey safety rules and watch the animals and the native Alaskans carefully when they went swimming. And everyone watched the walrus when he dove from the diving board. The walrus could do all kinds of backflips and tricks. No one cheered louder than Ookpik, for it was Ookpik who first met the monster and made a friend. The end. And that, my friends, is the end of our story for today. I hope you enjoyed the story about Ookpik, the little Arctic owl, and his friend, the walrus. And we can't forget about Sammy and Mukluk, can we? I hope you had fun today. Make sure that you are taking some time to have fun with your grown-ups at home and maybe color some pictures. You could draw a little picture of Ookpik today. Until next time, my friends, I love you.